Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video on the second van with pretty much the same sort of issue. As you can see, it's got a towing eye in the front and it does not start from cold. We kind of know what that is. I have been messing around with other injectors out of the other van and some out of this, new seals and etc, and it's just not playing ball and it's not going to work. So we do need 4 new ones for this. Quite a lot of you reached out to me in the last video about these yellow stripes. Some people said, yeah, leave them on there. Majority of people said take them off. On the other van, we didn't want to get involved in taking them off. These reflective stickers are a nuisance to get off because it's not just the sticker. There's actually a reflective strip underneath. But on this van, I'm going to take that off. Just try and make this one a bit more of a work van, not a highway maintenance vehicle, which is what they are. So I may even attempt to take those chevrons off the back, but definitely the stripes down the side, we're going to attempt to remove them. And how I'm going to do that is, I've got the heat gun out here. I'm going to put a little bit of heat into them. Got it there. And I'm actually going to try and peel off as much as I can, and then I'm going to move on to thinners and a rag. But after that is done, it's going to need a good polish anyway. But we're going to start on this little area here and see how difficult or easy it is to come off. But as you can see, it is that reflective stuff. Quite a lot of people said, why is that on there? And it is because it was a highway maintenance vehicle. And in the right light, that is very, very reflective, like what a reflective strip basically. So enough waffle, let's crack on and try and get that off. I think I had a bit of luck on my side there, which is nice with this van actually. Hopefully it ain't as much hassle as the last one. But the reflective strip, I run a little bit of heat over it, it peeled straight off, and then it left a trail of glue all the way along. But I just put some thinners over the top of that. In fact, save me going on about it, you can see a slight shadow of blue there, and that's why I use blue paper towel. The whole thing's going to need a wash and a polish. But I'll actually do a demo here with how I got it off and then what it leaves behind and how I'll get that off. Let's do it. So you might struggle to hear me a little bit, guys, but I'm going to put a link for these in the description because no doubt someone's going to ask. Basically, it's a blunt Stanley blade, but it's plastic. A little bit of heat into them. I appreciate some of you have probably already done this sort of thing before, but just get it started with a bit of heat. I'm using that plastic Stanley, it don't scratch it. And then as soon as you get your fingers underneath it, bit of heat all the way along. I got carried away there pulling that before I heated it, and as you can see, it's left some patches without any glue on them at all, which saves a load of work. Let's just move that round slightly. So all this here, it's all sticky. If you just put something on it now, it just stays there. So we'll whip that off. I'll just put a bit of thinners on a rag. Cover the whole lot with it. A couple of seconds for it to soak in, and then that little blade, you see all that, and that's the glue. You do have to do it a couple of times. It is quite sticky, but basically I've done that little bit there now, and then just a thinners rag again, and then actually wipe over, and it does pull off the little bits of excess. So that's took all the glue off up to where we just scraped it up to there. But nice and easy to do. I'm very, very grateful for that as well, because I expected it to be an absolute nightmare. Let's crack on and get the rest of it off. I actually really wasn't looking forward to doing that, but it was so simple and it all come off really nice. It's left none of that reflective on there, and once it has a good polish, it'll just come up lovely. I am going to move on. We've had a good feel over those doors and they both feel really nice. There doesn't appear to be any dents in them, so I am going to take that off as well. So let's get on and get that done. It's actually the next day now, guys. I had to go out and get that Mini, and that does just show you how far apart sometimes, where we record bits and then the next day we record other bits. So yesterday Chris was in the workshop doing another project. I'm not going to say what that is, because that video may come after this one or before. Sometimes I do shoot myself in the foot a little bit there, but I'm going to crack on, get the rest of this reflective strip off, and as you can see, it's coming off lovely. I'm not even using the heat gun. And Chris has just popped to the motor factors to collect those diesel injectors. So hopefully we can get that done in this video as well. Sorry guys, that quickly cut there. Chris is back. Yes. We get them fitted. How much?
You don't want to know.
Oh, not much change there, guys. At £900, unbelievable. Let's get back and get these fitted. I got really, really lucky there with that. And what I did notice, what I did actually come to see, was it was actually one massive green or yellow sticker, whatever you want to call it. And the only bit that was reflective was the red. And they put the red over the top. So it come out lovely. Both of those back doors look great. Of course, it's going to need a good valet and a good polish. But we got those injectors now. I know they was expensive, but last time, I mean, I will elaborate a little bit on last time. Guys, a company had one for sale on eBay, and I emailed them. I never got a reply for a little while. Eventually, I found their seller's business information, and I actually called them. And as soon as the bloke answered the phone, he went, "Is that you, Rob?" And it really made me laugh. He's actually a subscriber. And they really did. They had them on the shelf. He said, "Look, someone ordered them in. They've been sat here for months. Let me see what I can do on them for you." And guys, we will be giving them a shout out in a later video, because they really did look after us for £400. Those other ones were just shy of 900, but we did get this van cheaper than the other one. So I'm going to get them fitted. And well, we haven't tried the diesel filter on this one. We haven't tried glow plugs. We're going straight for the injectors. So keep your fingers crossed for us, guys. But I will just show quickly before I start taking them out. Number 2 original, if you remember back in the video, and number 4's original. And number 1, you can just about see the writing on there, is actually number 4 out the other van. And that is, no, that's number 4 and that's number 2, because they wasn't leaking off that bad. So I tried those in this van as well, and it hasn't made any difference. This van won't start at all now. So let's get those new ones fitted, and hopefully that's another one done. Want that bit of time lapse to be too long there, but as you can see, that's the 4 old ones in the boxes, 4 new ones all set up there ready to go. I'm just going to move back on to the actual van itself. Let's just move that. It has actually got, I did clean these all out last week. I did give them a real good clean, all of the bores where these injectors sit, but I am just going to run like I did last time, really run a bit of blue towel down it, clean them all out, we get them sat in and do the big start up, I suppose. I've had them in and out so many times now, guys. I've done that. You would have seen really quick. So I put all the new injectors in. Sorry, Chris, while I'm talking, can you give that a good few primes? It's got that electric fuel pump in the boot, so we want that to charge round and get as much in here as we can. There's 4 new injectors. We haven't tried a filter. We haven't tried any glow plugs, so we're going to give it a go. I've put a jump pack on it because it's quite flat, the battery on this one. So ready when you are, mate. I'll have to hold that phone actually because it's leaning over onto the car. It's got 2 chances. Yeah, another one, injectors. That's perfect. One sec, I'll put the air filter on. Unbelievable. Leave it running, that's alright. Imagine how many of these vans are out there, guys, with this same fault. That was a lot of money for those injectors, but this one was a lot cheaper than, well, it wasn't a lot, but it was a bit cheaper than the other one, so we could afford to spend that money on those injectors. Yeah, listen to that. I know it's a bit cold, but give it a little rev, mate. Yeah, it sounds lovely. I'm going to cut there, guys, get it all buttoned up. Guys, just before I do cut there, I'm actually going to include a little bit of video now. The other day I went down the breaker's yard and I completely forgot about this. I'm going to include it. I've got a starter motor for this second hand. And I'm sitting there just trying it. And Chris just said, well, did you notice anything? And I went, no, what was I meant to notice? He went, I fitted the starter motor. I completely forgot all about it. But as usual, we're made up and the van's starting to look nice. And the good news is the car wash is open. So you haven't got to have torture by watching me wash it down and hoover it out. Starter motor for that little van. But guys, it's so windy and cold, I don't think I'll be able to record any of it. Let's get it off all of this out of the way. And we got that bolt this side, and then I'm going to have to get this up in the air and get the other bolt underneath it. So I'll cut back in once I've got it off. Took so many days to do this one because I've just been waiting for bits and doing different bits different days, but ultimately I wanted to wait 143,000 on this one. I wanted to wait till first thing this morning because that is going to be the ultimate test. Oh guys, that's definitely perfect. Well happy with that. So that is another one all done. I've got a few little bits to do, but there's no point me adding it to this video because it's going to be me running around with a mop, spinning it up, We're going to do oil filter, air filter, all that sort of stuff on it, and of course the proxy alignment. I will need to go and get a set of wheel trims for it down at the motor factors when they're open, but I'm really happy with this one. It's been quite easy work. It has cost a few pounds because of those injectors. Sorry guys, I'm on a bit of a tight lane here, so I couldn't really get to see the whole van. But in some ways, this one would be a little bit better than the other one. In another way, the other one was better than this because it had the new clutch in it, the new injectors, we'd pretty much done everything on it. But this one's a little bit cleaner in the back. I've done quite a nice job yesterday of valeting it. It was only a quick one. And of course, in the front, the steering wheels are a little bit worn on them, but overall, really, really nice little van. And I'm so glad that really everybody said, let me just turn this camera around. Everyone said in that last video I put out on the other little van when we finally done the injectors, oh, you know, you didn't make no money on that, Rob. It was so much work, and it was a lot of work. It was a lot of hassle, but those videos on that van, I think I mentioned quite early on, I'd have a couple of hours on it one day after we finished the project and a couple of hours on it another day. So overall, I did only really spend probably 1.5 to 2 days on it. And this one, we pretty much come to the conclusion that the starter motor was toast straight away. And the starter motor was toast because they'd been constantly cranking it over and it was taking ages to start due to the injectors. So this one, it has been a lot easier to do because we headed straight for the thing that we thought was going to be the fault, and it turned out that that was exactly the right tree to bark up. So I'm going to head home and we are going to crunch the numbers on this one. So the most important part, guys, I know that you all love. This is everybody's favourite part, I'm sure it is, because I always get comments on it on the end. So like I said earlier in the video, that van, we did get it cheaper. We knew what we was up against with the other one because we had it quite a few days before, probably about a week before we was able to buy this one. So knowing what it was going to cost, I actually bid less for it and got it for £1,000, which is quite cheap, I think, for the little van. And of course we bought it thinking worst way engine. The injectors, I've rounded it off because there's not really any, it's so close, it's not worth taking it off. £900. That's a lot of money for them, but they still did us quite a good deal on those at the motor factors. It's a shame that we couldn't get another set from them same people, but they just didn't have them. So the wheel trims, quite a lot of people mentioned in the last video, Rob, have you got a link for those wheel trims? And unfortunately, I haven't, because those wheel trims come with that van, but when I loaded it on the truck, I actually removed them to stop them getting crushed by the straps on the truck. So I do need to buy a set for that van. They're not going to be perfect, but from the motor factors, and they're £20. The wash yesterday was £20. The service on the last one, I estimated it at about £60 or £70, and I was bang on. Sorry, the dog's choking in the background now. And it turns out that I was about right. It was £61 something, but this time we're going to have to buy the diesel filter, which we did last time, but we didn't add it in with the service. So that's £80. So we've got a total price of £2,020. So although those injectors were really expensive, that was still a very reasonable price for that van. And like I said previously, I spent nowhere near the time on it. It's probably 1 day total, start to finish. So we are going to ask for that van £2,995, and that's going to give us a pre-tax profit of £975. And that kind of, in the last video, you guys said, Rob, you're not asking enough money for it, you're shortchanging yourself. We always make the price up and we stick to it. Now, I received quite a lot of Instagram offers on the other van when I put it out there, and that is sold now and it's gone. But people actually emailed me and said, I'm a bit late to it, but would you take more money for it? And one of them was quite a substantially larger amount. And guys, I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it to you, and I wouldn't feel right doing it. It's not something that we do. The price was $2,500, and that's exactly what we sold it for. So this one's got MOT till June or July. It's going to be ready to go for its new buyer, and it's going to be 2,995 or very close to it. Guys, I'm just noticing while I'm watching, I am going to mention it. It's not sponsored. If it was, I would say. But I just wanted to thank the company, Noble, and AMG Formula One team for sending us this chair. I will just give you a quick look at it. It is lovely, and I've not got out of it. They sent it to me a few days ago, and I had to wait until after the 19th before I actually mentioned about the chair, and I thought I am going to mention it because it was so nice of them to send it to us. So thank you very much for that. Guys, that is going to be, I'm trying to pull myself closer. That is going to be the end of today's video. I know this Christmas is going to be really hard and different for everybody, but I'm sure that you're all going to make the absolute best of it that you can. So from me and Chris, it is Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I hope everybody has a lovely break over the holiday. If you haven't already, follow us on Instagram for the little sneak peeks. Like, subscribe and share. I'll put the links for the chair in the description down below. And we'll see you very, very soon in the next one.